I bet you never met a founder that sold everything that he had in Australia, multiple businesses, and opened up his warehouse and office in Russia. Well, guys, my name is Volko, and I did exactly just that. Today, I've actually moved into my office. So the warehouse is getting still set up, but the office is, well, it's still getting set up too. As you can see, there's just a little office that we have set up here for the main warehouse. That's enough for us to do our staff list work. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the crazy adventures that we go through, or that I go through, I should say, and what it's like to open up a warehouse in Russia. So I'm specifically in Moscow, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information about how the whole process works, what kind of things you need to look out versus the things that I had to look out for in Australia, the costs, how much it costs, the red tape, all that sort of stuff, and generally speaking, the ease of access into a warehouse. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a comparison against the West, which is where I grew up, which is where I did all my business, versus now the East, where I'm beginning to do business and it's becoming, actually quite successful. So, guys, without further ado, let's get into it. So, my warehouse right here. So, as you can see, we finally got our computer set up. Now, I had to bring this computer all the way from Australia. I had to disassemble it because my computer is a fucking gaming computer, because I'm a big nerd. And I'm like, I am bringing that with me. But I had to put it into different parts, and it took me a couple of weeks to get it over. But anyway, it's here. Mwah. Gonna be playing some Warhammer 40k in our dreams, anyway. So, warehouses in Russia versus Australia. Now, I've opened 2 stores in Sydney and another store in Melbourne, plus had 3 warehouses in Sydney. Not at the same time. I would move from one warehouse to the next, but just so you guys understand how much leasing I've done in the West. And comparatively speaking, like, I'm situated in Moscow, so my leasing experience is significantly easier than it was in Australia. The amount of red tape you have in Australia now, like, feeling what I'm feeling now, is insane. Like, it's actually crazy. I've had to, like, I've almost had to pinch myself. I've almost had to, like, tell myself, like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is actually really good. It's like the paperwork is far less. If you want a warehouse, you put your deposit down, and then you put your first month of rent down in Russia, and then you go ahead. Prices generally vary based on where you want to be, how close to the center you want to be, and then what kind of business you have, and then what you need, basically, right? So you got to remember, Moscow is very metropolitan. So where in Sydney, I literally had a warehouse in Alexandria, which is it's a stone throw away from city center. For me to drive from Alexandria to the very, very, very pin drop center of Sydney would take me about 15 minutes, purely because of traffic. If there was no traffic, I could do it in about 10. So we're talking like right there. It's like 3 stops away from the CBD. So you had warehouses in the center. It's in, like, the center of Moscow doesn't necessarily have that. Like, it's a built out place, it's a built out city. So if you have warehousing, it's kind of sporadically situated in strange areas, and it's not really like the same that you have in the West. And a lot of the bigger guys that have more rural based warehouses, because there's so many people here to deal with, that it just makes more sense logistically for the trucks and everything to come in and get out of, right? So so for me, opening up this warehouse was an experience. My first warehouse in Alexandria, this was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, no, 7 years ago now. It was in Alexandria, which is, as I told you, pretty close to the center. It cost me about $4,500 a month Australian, right? And that was for a small space. Like, it wasn't a big warehouse. It had a little mezzanine style office, enough room downstairs to hold some pallets. And yeah, we made it work. I think we were doing about 170 to 180, yeah, 190, 180 a month there, which wasn't too bad for a small fresh business, right? It was our first year of business. Um, then we moved on to a bigger warehouse and we kind of moved out a little bit further. That was far cheaper to kind of operate. I did the smarter thing and I moved out more because the land you would get over there was basically more bang for your buck, right? But unfortunately, because of COVID, everything started going up and everything started to go slow down. So we had this really like tense time in Sydney, but still warehousing was fairly expensive in Sydney. And those second ones, it would take you so long to get to your warehouse. You'd have to drive to fucking whoop whoop to get into it. It was a pain in the ass, really. Like it was just such an inconvenience. But here in Russia, like dude, like you have two main channels of finding your warehousing, right? One of them through Tian, and then the other one is Evita. So two different style of apps, really easy to use. You search these listings and then you call them, and generally speaking, the agents are so chill. Like you know how in Australia everyone's like really like tied up. You got some guys like slick back gel hairs, like thinks he's a sick guy. Like here, it's really different. Everyone's chill. It's like, yeah, you want an office? Cool, no worries. Don't do any illegal shit in there. All is good. Make sure you pay your rent. Everyone's gonna be happy. See you later. Shake your hand. Bye bye. That's it. See you when you leave. Right? That's all it is, guys. Like it's so much cheaper. So my warehouse here is costing me the equivalent of about for an office and warehouse about 2,000 Australian dollars for 6 times the space, which is like ridiculously crazy in terms of like value. And I'm like in Moscow, so it's way better. Everything's around me, everything's close. It's like convenient. So like I'll go downstairs. There's about 15 shops that I want to go. The food's everywhere. I literally have a sauna downstairs. Like I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna show you guys the sauna. It's downstairs from my warehouse. It's fucking incredible. It's actually insane. Um, so yeah, warehousing in Russia is awesome. Like I really like it. Now, the thing is, you don't need to have a warehouse in Russia. So let's say if you have a physical product. So where are my physical products? Oh, right here. So we got our physical products, our nailed it, and our Liver X, our good products. We got our Cyberpunk, and then we also got our deodorants, which is being made, and that's going to be stored here too. For our physical products, it's awesome because I like having my hand on things in the early days, but you don't need it. Like in Russia, you can just send your stuff to Ozone, Wildberries, and they'll warehouse it, store it for you. It's like an Amazon, but it's run better without like 90% of the bullshit. And that's why I prefer it. Like it's really cool. So you can deal with them on a very good basis, or you even go direct sailing through other ways. So there's so many ways to make money here in Russia through online. It's very, very online savvy. The thing that interests me the most though is like my other business, which is Staffless, which is the app that I have, which lets you basically connect your inventory to Staffless, and you can sell straight away. So you don't need a website. You can basically have a link. That link shows exactly what you have in stock. It can be anything you want. It just shows up in your link and you can sell it as it is. And what happens in that link too, we have a backend which has a content calendar, which lets you post across multiple platforms at the same time. And it's also got a live DMing option, so you can automate your DM. So it's basically a sales system built for marketing. And in addition, I also have a studio service where I help clients with generating social media. We do audits on their website, we do audits on their businesses, and tell them where the weak spots are. We help them with their SEO and GEO, which is almost the same thing. But basically, we help these businesses along with their marketing and their digital visibility. And now I'm able to do it across multiple countries. So I have a very unique set of skills when it comes to building businesses cross nationally. And for this office, that's what we're going to be running out of this office. So I'm going to be here doing my calls, my marketing calls, my business calls, while the warehouse staff gets, all the packing done. So it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it, guys. But I want you to know, none of it comes easy. Like this whole process for me to find things out took me close to a year. So uh, the reason it took me close to a year is, well, first of all, you need the right documentation. You can't just be anybody and walk in. Like, you need to have some sort of status in Russia, right? And by status, I mean some sort of legal status. And you also need to kind of understand what you want to do, how you want to play the game, like all these different things, which is a lot of the reason why it took me so long. I wanted to understand what I'm walking into and how I'm going to do things. And I did. I worked it out, built a system around it. Now I have 3 businesses. One of them is making me money already here in Russia right now. Then I have also my brands, which we're about to start distributing across for our Ozone and Wild Berries. And Staffless is just, man, we're picking up new clients, I would say, every 4 to 5 days. Yeah. I got 1 new one this week, and then I got 3 new ones last week. So whatever the average of that is. And yeah, guys, it's just a constant movement. And this whole YouTube adventure is me sharing that with you guys. So if there's any questions about how to move into a warehouse, be it either in Australia, be it either in Russia, some of the things to look out for, should you do it? Should you opt for a free PL? Hit me up down below. I want to help you guys out. It's a journey. You can get trapped, and hopefully that can help some of you not get trapped. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. If you do, you know what to do. There's a subscribe button. Ring the notification bell so you guys can get aware of when I'm posting videos. We're doing 1 a day basically because we are locking in, and I'll see you guys on the next one.